This book has two titles, Encyclopedia Brown in the Case of the Secret Pitch, or the better title, Encyclopedia Brown Strikes Again. Of course, if you can't solve the mysteries, it's more like Encyclopedia Brown Strikes Out.
Argo Font Book Review, Argo Font Book Review.
In the title case, Bugs Meany claims to have sold a secret baseball pitch to the New York Yankees for $100. Just $100? I guess the Yankees were hurting for money this year. Bugs proves it's a real deal with a letter and a check dated June 31st. Encyclopedia says it's phony. Why? There's no such day as June 31st. Good catch, dude. Case 2 is about Izzy the Balloon Man, who blows up balloons while making funny faces. Izzy has been accused of kidnapping a child. Someone witnessed the crime while taking one of Izzy's balloons down from a tree. Encyclopedia knows the witness is lying. Why? Because balloons that are blown up with air don't float into the sky, so the balloon couldn't have been stuck in a tree. Can you expect grade schoolers to know this information? Oh, I guess you can. Well, in that case, I'm giving it a full point. And I have to wonder, where was Izzy in all of this? We're told that the culprit kidnapped him along with the child, but only the child is being held for ransom. So, I guess nobody loves Izzy enough to pay money for him. Sad. Also, how does the culprit plan to stop Izzy from going to the police afterwards? There is no way Izzy will go along with a plan to frame himself. In Case 3, Encyclopedia goes to Texas. A tour guide tells them all about a showdown between Johnny Kid and Ringo Charlie. Ringo Charlie hid behind a rock, and when he saw Johnny's shadow, he jumped out and fired. Johnny was caught squinting in the sun, so he lost the gunfight before it even started. Encyclopedia immediately accuses Ringo of being a liar. I thought the mystery solution was that Ringo cheated, because he started a gunfight against an opponent who A, wasn't expecting it, and B, couldn't see because he was looking into the sun. But no! The solution is that if Johnny was looking at the sun, his shadow would have been behind him, where Ringo couldn't see it. Yeah, I guess that's true. In Case 4, the tour guide tells about a sheriff who tried to stop a group of bandits. He was shot twice in the arm by a lookout, then he stole the lookout's six-shooter and killed all 5 bandits. When the townsfolk heard about this daring rescue, they ran the sheriff out of town. Why? He shot 7 bullets from a 6-shooter. His fatal flaw was pretending to be shot in the arm twice. Why didn't he pretend he was only shot in the arm once? Or, not at all? Weird. Just like the last case, Encyclopedia is a little snotty here. I'm such a genius, I solved mysteries from over 80 years ago. Why does Encyclopedia automatically assume the cowboys are lying? Isn't it more logical to assume the tour guide told the story wrong? He's probably embellishing the story for dramatic effect. And besides, what if the sheriff killed 2 bandits with the same shot? Difficult, but not impossible. In Case 5, a bank is robbed on a hot day. Chief Brown drives around the area and sees a hitchhiker who's been outside for hours. The hitchhiker tells him which way the thieves went, and he gives some chocolate to Encyclopedia. Encyclopedia deduces the hitchhiker is working with the robbers to throw the police off track. How does he know? The man's chocolate bar didn't melt in the hot sun. Therefore, he must have just gotten it. In other words, the man bought a candy bar immediately after robbing a bank. Really? Is that why he robbed the bank? He couldn't afford to go on a candy run? Weird! In Case 6, an English boy comes to town and sweeps Sally off her feet. He gets into a fight with a larger kid in order to defend her honor. He puts his glasses in his breast pocket, the 2 guys start punching each other in the chest, and he wins easily. Sally accuses him of being a phony and says the entire fight was faked. Then she beats him up. Why? Sally is violent. I mean, she knows the fight was faked because the glasses weren't injured, even though he was punched in the chest multiple times. Either he's super lucky or his opponent pulled punches on purpose. In Case 7, we meet a weird kid named Charlie who collects teeth. He walks barefoot in the woods in hopes of stepping on animal teeth so he can add them to his collection. This is a creepy hobby. I am worried about this kid. While looking for teeth, they find an illegal airgun target inside a graveyard. The culprit shoots Charlie's bare foot at this point. That's the real reason why Charlie is a tooth-obsessed weirdo. We needed an excuse for the victim of this case to be barefoot. There are better reasons for kids to take off their shoes. Anyway, Charlie is shot in the foot. One of Bugs' friends is here. Encyclopedia asks him to get Charlie's shoe. He does, and Encyclopedia accuses him. Why? Well, he knows that Charlie was shot in the left foot, not the right foot. A normal person would have brought both shoes. In case 8, Bugs Meany says an 8-year-old kid with a broken left arm stole a knife from him, and he wants the knife back. Bugs is obviously lying, but Encyclopedia Brown is stupid today, so he takes the case. He finds the stolen knife in the kid's left pocket. Encyclopedia instantly knows Bugs is trying to frame the kid. Why? It's impossible to put something in your left pocket with your right hand. The internet disagrees with this mystery solution. Let me show you why. Here's a phone. I'm holding it in my right hand, and now it's in my left pocket. That wasn't even kind of difficult to do. Take that, Encyclopedia Brown! Ha! I'm giving this case 0 points for being flat out wrong. To its credit, the book qualifies that you can't put something in your left pocket with your right hand while you're running, and while that is difficult, it's still not impossible, and besides, the kid had plenty of time to switch pockets when he wasn't running. In fact, it would have been a good idea for him to switch pockets, just to throw Encyclopedia off track. Case 9 has a downright strange premise. 2 musicians made a bet with each other. Musician 1 bets he can sneak into a room, break into a locked safe, and replace a glass of ice cubes with a glass of ginger ale, all without being caught. He manages to do this without musician 2 hearing him. How? Simple, the ice cubes weren't frozen water, they were frozen ginger ale. He didn't do anything at all, the ice cubes melted on their own. Sneaky. It helped that musician 2 was blind, so he couldn't see the ice cubes were the wrong color. I imagine if he could see, the musician would have used ice cubes made out of vodka. Encyclopedia Brown in the case of the alcoholic ice cubes. Encyclopedia's big clue is that the culprit said, "Oh, this ice is cold." That sounds like a perfectly normal thing to me, but Encyclopedia asserts this is a stupid thing to say. No normal person would complain about cold fingers after touching ice. So clearly the culprit said that to mask the sound of him taking out his special ginger ale ice cubes. I take issue with this part of the solution, so half a point. In the final case, a big boy steals a bike and hides it in his yard. Encyclopedia goes to the boy's yard, and he finds the bike lying on the green grass underneath a canvas. The victim says the bike was stolen yesterday, while the culprit claims it was put there months ago. How does Encyclopedia disprove the culprit? Well, if the canvas was there for weeks, the grass would have been dead by now. Hey, wait, this is the same as the tent on muddy ground mystery from the previous book. And that's the final case. I give Encyclopedia Brown in the case of the secret pitch an 8.5 out of 10.